You did mention after Kershaw you attended other high schools. What high school did you go to?
I went to Westchester High School and got kicked out of there. I went to Dorsey High School. Got kicked out of there. The last school I went to was LA High School.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole.
I'm assuming because of your age, you graduated around 74.
Correct.
What's going on with your life in the summer of 74 after high school? What is Mike up to now? Is he still being G gang banging, or is he transitioning to something else?
I was transitioning into from the gang culture to the drug culture. Because I always like getting money. And I like nice things, fast women, you know, cars and money, you know. So I was in transition to that, you know, and that's when I met Tootie, because when my mother moved from 60 hood, from off of 6th Avenue 60th, trying to go somewhere where she thought was better, which was Leimert Park, okay? So we went to Leimert Park on Creed Avenue, and Tootie had, one of his properties was the property right next door to us. Yeah.
So, are you giving Tootie Reese the person that introduced you to the drug culture, or you was already introduced and Tootie just took you to the next level?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that. I would say that I was already introduced, because at the time I met Tootie, I was selling weed, and I was selling dime scenes, nickel scenes, angel dust, love leaf, and stuff like that. So I was always hustling. When I met Tootie, I was a hustler, you know.
So back then, in the mid-70s, the drug of choice was angel dust?
Well, for a lot of people, I wouldn't mess with it, and I told people don't mess with it, but yeah, angel dust. And the love leaf was like, it was lighter. It was a lighter high, you know, like indica and sativa right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's throw a name at you.
Okay.
I don't know if he's before Tootie or after Tootie. Squally D.
Squally Davis. Squally Davis is that's Suge's nephew, and no, Squally was cool. We went to Horseman together, and Suge, that was his uncle.
For the people that don't know, who is Squally Davis?
Squally Davis was a cool dude, man. Squally was cool. Matter of fact, I got a picture of Squally in my phone right now. Squally he lived better than a lot because his uncle was Suge. And Suge was a straight gangster and he was hustling. So, and I kind of wondered when we was going to school why he had tailors on. You know, and they had Arthur Williams at the time, but Squally was one that was like, you know, he was wearing tailors and stuff. You know, when we was wearing Levi's and Chuck tennis shoes and white t-shirts. And he was fly, you know what I'm saying? So, but when I learned later on, you know, him and his brother Ricky, you know, he had a brother Ricky, he was real cool. And so Squally was a cool dude, man. And one day I seen Squally coming next door to me, you know, over to Tootie and them. I was like, what's up? He's like, hey Mike, what's going on? You know, and I went over there, you know, and I had a sister, she was over there, you know, talking to the girls and stuff. But yeah, Squally, he's a good dude.
Where did Squally grow up at?
Squally was a 60. Squally was 6'0".
Okay, so now we're in Leimert Park.
Okay, go ahead.
You're living next door to Tootie Reese on one of his properties.
One of his properties.
Explain the introduction. How did you meet him? How did you know who he was when you met him? Or did someone have to tell you, hey?
No, of course I knew who he was, because when we were, one of my main hangouts, you know, was 54 from 4th Avenue at a liquor store, right? And Tootie owned apartments right there on 7th Avenue and 54th, and big apartments over there. You saw nothing but Rolls Royces, Porsches, all type of fly cars, you know, Clenays, Excaliburs, Cadillacs, Benzes, rolling down. And the store they would go to is come where our store was. And matter of fact, the store was under our protection. They used to pay me to stop my people from going to take all their shit. So Tootie and them's people used to come down there, you know, and he would roll down in one of his Rolls Royce sometimes. So we knew who the Hustlers was. And, you know, and people used to say, man, that's the Black Mafia, man. They the Black Mafia. Man, they the Black Mafia, you know, like that. So.
See, now when you move next door to run against the property, explain the introduction. How did you infiltrate Tootie Reese's inner circle?
Well, on Creed Avenue, you have an alley, right? We stayed upstairs. So when Tootie used to come in the back, because he would go in the alley and come in the back to his property and park his car in the garage. I had a dog and he would always be barking viciously, acting crazy, right? So I look out the window and it was Tootie, you know, the same guy that I seen down there, because everybody knows his name, you know, everybody knows Tootie, you know, he was a John Gotti dude, you know what I'm saying? So he walked in over there. So one day I came outside, I run outside, you know what I mean, in the back, and he see the dog, you know, and he said, man, I like that dog, you know, and we got to cutting it up. He said, I asked me at the dog, he said, yeah. So, you know, one day I saw these dudes, man, hanging in the back, and they looked shiesty. They looked like they wanted to do the jackers. So I didn't think a whole lot about it, because I just thought they was trying to steal something, you know, in the garage or in the alley or something. So then my homeboy Raul, I said, man, you know, Tootie next door, like that. He said, what? I said, yeah. So I said, man, there's some shiesty niggas be running around. He said, man, you need to tell him they might be jackers or whatever, you know, might try to rob him. So I went next door. He was gone. And I talked to the girl, Ann, and told her what was going on. So she said, well, I'm gonna tell Tootie. So I went back home, and my sister Sheila would go over there. She kicked it with the girls, because it was like Hugh Hefner. That was like the Playboy house, but it was for blacks. You know what I'm saying? That was a black Playboy match. These broads was fine as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so when I gave Ann the message, she told Tootie. And then she called me over there, you know, to talk to him, you know, when he came back over there, because he wasn't over. So I told him, explained to him. So he said, man, just ride somewhere with me. I want you to tell me if you recognize these dudes. So I'm like, okay. At the time, I'm hustling. You know, I got me a 68 Cadillac. You know, I'm only 16 years old, 17. I bought this car out of Beverly Hills. I'm hustling. You know, I'm selling weed. So we go out there, and Tootie got his Rolls Royce. He said, man, you know, I got that, so I told him about his Rolls Royce. One of them had mohair seats, two-tone green Rolls Royce, you know, and candy paint. So I said, man, that's a beautiful car. He said, now you get a chance to ride in it. Now, come on, roll with me. So I told him, I said, man, wouldn't it be better if we rolled in my car? Because they don't know my car. They know your car. Everybody knows your cars. He started laughing. And he's like, yeah, come on, man. Come on, homeboy. So we jumped in my Cadillac. We drove up Crenshaw, crossed Hyde Park, went up to that liquor store that was on, I think it's 76 in Crenshaw. And I seen the dudes coming out, and I pointed to him, you know, and I said, that's the dude. He said, okay. He said, but you see that dude that's walking with him? I said, yeah, I see the other dude that's walking with him. He said, he with us. He said, I figured that's who he was. So then I told him, I said, man, you want me to handle it? He laughed at me, because I was young. He laughed at me. He laughed at me. He said, no, man, you know. So we rolled back to the apartments on 63rd Crenshaw. We went over there, you know, and he went in. I was in the car. He said, man, Mike, come on up, homeboy, because he called people homeboy, right? And I like that about him, you know, because that's what we was calling out, you know, people, come on, homeboy. So we went upstairs, chopped it up, kicked it with one of his girls, and we headed back over there on Creed Avenue.
Knowing that he had that status and that money, you were basically a stranger to him.
Well, see,
dudes of that stature were fearful of being jacked.
right. Well, you know,
but he embraced you off the dribble.
Right. See, Tootie was this kind of guy. He was an uplifting person, and he was one of the best men I ever met in my life. A good dude, fed families and stuff like that. Plus, you have to keep in mind that my name was ringing. Michael Jourdain. My name was ringing. You know what I'm saying? And Squally, like I said, was Suge's nephew. And Suge be over there, and Suge and Tootie was like this. So, you know, he inquired, you know, about me through Squally, and Squally told him who I was, my reputation and this and that, and he liked that. You know what I'm saying? No, he did his homework. Trust me.
And the D&G homeboys having resentment towards you, leaving them in the dust?
Well, you know what? A lot of them felt I was turning my back on them, but I wasn't. You know, I gave them a chance to get money with me. And you know, you're going to have haters all the time, man. You know, whether it be some of your homeboys, you got some that's going to hate on you, man. You know, that's why people be coming up missing, you know, and it mainly be some of the homeboys that did that shit. But yeah, they was hating. But, you know, I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't worried about the bullet.
Now that you mention that, is that a thing back then? Of gangsters robbing dope dealers in Los Angeles?
Well, to tell you the truth, that wasn't going on. You would have that was like rare. See, because people was getting so much money and the real gangsters, they was gangsters. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you heard about people, I'll tell you heard about this kind of thing. Person in the house isn't on the news. I'm gonna talk about something that was on the news. This man was found with 2 kilos of cocaine on the kitchen table. You know, with about 100-some thousand cash. His wife was abused, okay, with a broomstick. Killed the baby, hung the baby up in the closet. And they made him watch all this stuff. And they cut his throat and killed him, okay? This is the way them gangsters was moving. And you would hear about stuff like that. You see it on the news, you know? So I think people really thought about, you know, what they did before they did it and who they crossed.
So back then, you're making a distinction between a gangster and a juvenile gangbanger.
Oh, without a doubt, it's a big difference, man. I mean, you know, it's like now, you know, with gang members, and say me, I'm not an active gangster, you know, I'm retired, but the connections I have, you know, it's like a gang member, you know, they getting money right now, some of them, but if I was to have a problem with somebody, I might send the Navy SEAL at your house. You know what I'm saying? I really mean the Navy SEAL. Dudes that was down, trained to kill. You know, I'm not gonna send no gang member to do what needs to be done.
During the 70s, did Tootie Reese have any counterparts? Anybody that was on his level? Any peers?
Tootie was the black godfather of the West Coast. And I'm not giving him that label. The federal government gave him that title, man. You know? And I seen it. You know what I'm saying? And I seen it. So
Tootie had no equals.
there was no equals to Tootie. Not to Tootie Reese. Now he had some his people that was around him, they was millionaires too. Right? But not the multi-millionaire.
Tell us about Felix Mitchell. What's his relationship with Tootie Reese?
Okay, Cat married into our family. He married Sheila Radley, okay? And so when he married into the family, he became family, you know, and
for the people that don't know, explain who Felix Mitchell is and where he is from.
Felix is from Oakland, East 14. He was out of Oakland, East 14th, and Felix ran them projects over there, man. You know, him and the dude Mickey Moe, you know, they was running shit. Felix wasn't no joke, you know. He was a gangster, you know, in his hood. You know, he was getting his money. He was getting paid.
So we say we established Tootie Reese had no equals.
Right.
So I'm assuming you kind of know for the audience, there was no free-rated Ricks, there was no waterhead balls. All these heavy hitters came
later on in the game when Tootie went to prison, you know, in the 80s, when they busted him, you know. Yeah, it was no free-rated Ricks. There was none of that. Michael Harris and all, you know, none of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was before them. You know what I'm saying? Because I was hustling with him. I was the youngest. I was actually the first gang member to levitate to dope, game, and it was all, I was the youngest dude that came out of that era, so I was the Freeway Rick, I was the Bo, I was, the Harry O, I was that guy, you know what I'm saying?
What can you tell me about the steakhouse on West Coast?
Fast Eddie. Yeah, Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie was a good dude, man. I used to go see Fast Eddie, because my role that I played with Tootie, I was the underboss, and people didn't know it because I was so young, but that was part of the plan, for me to move in silence. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Fast Eddie's a good dude, man.
So Fast Eddie comes out of that 70s hustler era also.
Yeah, Fast Eddie, yeah, he come out of that.
How did you meet him?
Yeah, Fast Eddie, I met Fast Eddie through Tootie. I had to go see him and talk to him about something, and I met him through there. Most of them guys, the older dudes, that's how I met, through Tootie, like that.
You know about him street racing?
You know what? They did so much stuff, man. They had speedboats, they had motorcycles, you know what I'm saying? These bad Harleys. I mean, they didn't have regular shit. They shit was fly. Pearl paints on motorcycles, pearl paint on the Rolls Royce, pearl paint on the speedboat. They pulling them with Rolls Royces. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of money they was getting.
Explain the 1970s player hustler lifestyle back then. What were the clubs? What were you guys wearing? What was going on in LA in the 70s?
Yeah, you know who had a club, man? John Boy. John Boy's club was very known, man.
Magic Johnson, all the Lakers, Bobby Brown, them. I let them perform there. Lou Rawls. Stevie Wonder would give a party there every year for his mother. Nancy Wilson came there and performed for me. Janet Jackson used my club for 3 months to rehearse. It was the hottest club in Marina Del Rey back then.
And John Boy's a good dude. I talked to John Boy maybe 3 weeks ago. I like John Boy. John Boy's a good dude. He had one of the baddest clubs in Los Angeles. Marina Del Rey, yeah. Everybody loved to go to Marina Del Rey. You buy the water, you get all the fly girls. Yeah, John Boy had that. I got to give it to him.
Was the Carolina West something for you guys back then?
Carolina West was when we went there, but Carolina West didn't have nothing on John Boy's club.
Really?
Nothing at all. That was like going from kindergarten and you jump to high school.
Did your Fast Eddies and Tootie Reeses come through?
Oh, yes. Eddie was a friend of mine. Tootie was. Rest in peace, he was a friend of mine. It was all good.
Any other big name, high rollers come through there?
Oh, all of them came there. I mean, every drug dealer that was a drug dealer, that was a hustler, that was doing the damn thing in LA, hung out at Castle's. Freeway Rick would rent the club on Sundays for all his workers and the guys from over there in Hoover. I let him have the whole club.
Yeah, John Boy had it like that. He had it going on. I got respect for the brother. Yeah, his club was going on, man.
So Angel Dust was the hustle for you in the beginning.
And weed now. Remember weed? Yeah. There's like
what kind of weed y'all had back then?
Man, we used to give 4 fingers, 5 finger sacks. These waste paper. It was wax paper rather. Sandwich bags, and we used to just do the 3 finger whatever and fill the bag up to there and fold it. You know what I'm saying? And one be a dime, and one be for a nickel, and we used to slang them like that. But it was Mexican weed, it was dirt weed, it wasn't no good. But we got down to Cali, man, people think they spraying something on it.
I was just about to ask you, where was the weed coming from in the 1970s?
Mexico.
What was the prices on the weed back in the 70s?
Man, okay, yeah, you would get a pound of weed for 250, 300.
Mexican dirt weed.
Mexican dirt weed. Hey, but the good one was called damn, it was red something. I forgot the name of it. But they had indica. Well, I had Thai. Yeah, I had Thai. Matter of fact, since you mentioned that, I had that, but I had to go through a girl that was going to Long Beach College, you know, and she hooked me up with some white boys, and they had that Thai, chocolate Thai stick. But that shit was, you know, wrapped around on the stick, and it was shit. It was laced with that opium. No, that's why it was so bad. People didn't know it. So I did research. You know, it was laced with opium, man. People getting high as mother.
So when did cocaine become a thing in the South Side? When did that pivot happen from cocaine?
Well, you know, it was always cocaine because cocaine was a rich man's high. We're not talking about smoking crack.
What got Tootie rich in the 70s before cocaine hit the scene? What did he build his empire on?
Well, you know, like I said, cocaine has been around for years. You know, and like I said, cocaine was a rich man's high. You know? Yeah, cocaine was a rich man's high. Everybody couldn't afford that, right? Because remember when Superfly came out, and then cocaine was, you know, what I had was 98%. You know?
How would you guys know if you guys had 98%? How did you guys get those measurements?
Well, we had testers. It's funny, man. It's no longer there, so I'm gonna talk about it. But they had a place called the Greenleaf on Crenshaw by Magnificent Brothers. You know, and they had all the test equipment and everything we needed.
I want you to explain what you guys did for recreational activities in the 1970s. Players and hustlers.
Yeah, the players and hustlers did. The real players and hustlers. What they did is we did everything that you can think of. We went to concerts, you know, all the entertainers, you know, Richard Pryor, Natalie Cole, a lot of those people, you know, we were sitting down having lunch and dinner with, you know, kicking it with. Because like I said, it was a rich person's high. And so we was having fun. We lived like celebrities ourselves. You know, we were celebrities in the hood and outside the hood. You know, we would, you know, kick it with a lot of people, man.
You guys have celebrity clientele?
Without a doubt.
Can you speak on that?
Well, we could say celebrities. I'm gonna have to take the fifth on that because some of them are still around, and I can't do that. I can't do them like that, you know.
All right, let's fast forward to 1978, 79. Things start unraveling for Mike. Tell us about the years 78, 79.
Okay. 78, me and Tootie, Felix, Mitchell, we all came back from a fight. We went to New Orleans. And I think it was Ali and Spence, 1978. We come from the fight, right? And this dude that worked for me, he said that he wanted guys wanted a test, right? They wanted a test, right? So I think it was probably, and the test then, because these people was really getting money, they were spending millions. So, you know, I think they wanted it was a 1-in-1, a pound of cocaine and a pound of heroin. So I brought it to the dude, met him at Fox Hills Mall, man. And I just didn't feel it. I was in my Cadillac. I just bought Blue Elders on Wilshire. Drove up in there, and I normally don't do it myself. I have my boys take it. Tootie was my boss. I was their boss, right? Okay. So I had them do it, man. And I pass it off to the dude. He go. and the police was on us from major crimes downtown. They was on him because he had sold to them. There was a Howard Johnson over there, off of Sepulveda, right by Fox Hill. I don't know if it's still there. Okay, but he was there. They made connections, and police, kept their eye on me. They never seen the exchange, but my homeboy that came and got it took it to him. As soon as he took it to him, they arrested me.